Innovative content. Global audience.
Hello, good morning, Nigeria. It's another beautiful day here in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. We're reaching you live from our SRO TV studio, and this is Wake Up Nigeria. I am here today live with MARYVAL, and I'm Princess KESSY. Good morning. Mary, how was your night?
My night was perfect, not like yesterday. It was cool.
The rain, right?
Yeah.
Yes, the rain was really it was refreshing, if you ask me. The weather is cold, and even though I'm feeling cold, and I just hope that we see more of the rains because the heat yesterday was just something else.
Yeah.
And so we have a lot of trending issues this morning. We're still talking about the evacuation of Nigerian
Sudan, right?
Sudan.
Yeah.
And it's something I really think that the government should. We know they are trying now to put up plans and all that. We applaud them, and so they should do more, because I don't think a war zone is a place anybody should stay at.
Yeah. No, actually,
Yes. We see a lot of issues as well rising from the tribunals, a lot of issues here and there, and I really do hope that this issue of tribunal comes and go, and then people can go back to their normal lives. And now, viewers, we'll go on a quick break, and when we return, we'll continue. We'll start with the newspaper reviews. Now, don't go anywhere. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
RTV London, in partnership with NTA TV Enterprise, present the maiden edition of the Nigerian Week in the capital of the world, London. A wonderful blend of entertainment, business, and networking, displaying a wide range of arts, national cash crops, financial products and services, and real estate for huge extra opportunity in diaspora. Look no further. The 36 states of the Federation, the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture, Trade and Investment, the Nigerian Film Corporation, and host of others will be in attendance. Date 15 to 21st of May 2023. Venue Lighthouse, Camberwell, Southeast London. For details, log on www.superiorradiotelevision.com/Nigerian Week or call +447 549 513 619 or +234 814 358 2856. The Nigerian Week, celebrating the best of Nigeria from the rest.
Hello viewers, you're welcome back from that quick break. Now this is Wake Up Nigeria, and we're going to kickstart with the news paper reviews this morning. Now calling to you is the Punch newspaper. Now these are some of the stories making waves this morning. Sudan conflict. Evacuation begins today as federal government releases 150 million, hires 40 buses. And the rider says federal government opposes night road trip. Logistic hiccups delayed Tuesday's planned evacuation. And the second rider says 3 Nigerian embassy officers escaped deaths following attacks by Sudan's rapid support forces. And now all the stories on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. And we also have a story here that says national leadership. Tinubu National Working Committee meets contestants on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. We have a story here that says federal government, U.S. sign MOU on $15 billion rail projects. That story is on page 23 of the Punch newspaper this morning. As well, we'll have a story here that says Buhari president-elect, governors mourn renowned journalist Inauro, and that story is on page 30 of the Punch newspaper this morning. As well, we have a story here that says ex-presidential candidates ask court to stop May 29 inauguration. That story is on page 7 of the Punch newspaper this morning. As well, we have a story that says assault, police to prosecute spare parts dealer, CP fires DPO. Now that story is on page 5 of the Punch newspaper this morning. We also have a story here that says federal government cuts power fence from national grid. That story is on page 19 19 of the Punch newspaper. And you can see the picture story here. A lot of flooding, like we also saw we saw the report earlier this year that the flooding might just be similar to what we had last year in Mary. And now we can see from the pictures here, the story here, a lot of floodings already, and we are just starting the rainy season. We've not even entered proper. So we do hope that a lot of people a lot of states would have prepared ahead of these floodings, so we don't have issues of last
year, because a lot of things happen. It hindered some journey and all that.
Not just journey, people died, houses destroyed, farm produce, a lot of things were destroyed. And the thing is that early this year, though, we saw that report that they said they forecast that the rains this year we will have similar to what we saw last year. So I was just saying, even though we started preaching already to state governments, to individuals, to people, to make sure that they prepare ahead of the rains. So your drainage way are cleared, and a lot of things should be put in place before this time. And we could see the story here is really a sad one. A lot of people, like we could see these people pushing, even a lady here, and it's really sad. That water is much, if you ask me. Honestly. I really must go out now. They must go out. That is the truth. You can stay at home. You need to get.
There's a story that caught my attention.
Which is that
evacuation begins today as federal government releases 150 million, hires 40 buses. Wow. Well, that's a nice move, though, if you ask me.
Yes, at this point, we are not saying, we know that they have delayed.
Yes.
Because like we said yesterday on the show, even on Monday we said it as well, other countries have been going to evacuate their people, and we know the safest way right now. Like yesterday, I had the opportunity to sit with an editor, a very big editor in this Abuja, in one of the renowned newspaper. So we talked, and I asked him. I was just kind of trying to interview him, and he said it is true that the easiest way to evacuate Nigerians right now would be through neighboring countries. Okay. And that is why a lot of them are trying to maneuver their ways.
I think Peace made a move yesterday.
Yes, they made a move. Yesterday also, recall that we were calling on individuals to help as well. This is not something that the federal government can do alone. Individuals should come out and help as well. We move on quickly this morning to the next newspaper. And I hope also, before we go, these logistic hiccups delayed Tuesday's planned evacuation. I hope federal government will not give us another story today that something happened, they couldn't go. They should start evacuating these students since last week. So I think they should do the needful this week.
That they even made the move, because all these were just like
they don't care.
So nonchalant about it.
Yes, and we also saw here 3 Nigerian embassy officers escaped death following attacks by Sudan's rapid support forces. Wow. I think the place is not safe at all. So the federal government needs to do what they have to do immediately to evacuate the students from that country.
Yeah.
And we saw the demise also of a renowned journalist. These are some of the people we used to look up to, and it's really sad.
May so rest in peace.
Amen. Condolences to his family. It was a great man. We move on quickly to the next newspaper we have here with us.
Okay, the next newspaper is taken from the Vanguard. Probes Obi's case threatened as Labour Party factions fight dirty. Apapa seeking to scuttle Obi's petition against Tinubu. Abure. Judiciary, DSS, police, orders on notice. It's cheap blackmail. Apapa. The story is found on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper. Sudan evacuation delayed as federal government warns Nigerian students against dangerous journey. You can find that story on page 9 of the paper. Dual citizenship doesn't disqualify anyone born in Nigeria from contesting election. The story is found on page 8 of the paper. KESSY approved appointments, posting of 12 CPs. You can find that story on page 9 of the paper. Nigerians spent over 195 million in 2021 to tackle piracy in Gulf of Guinea. Buhari. You can find the story on page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper. Economic cost of malaria in Nigeria may hit over 2 trillion in 2030, says federal government. You can find the story on page 25 of the Vanguard newspaper. Think those are the story making wave on the Vanguard newspaper.
Yes, so I saw a story here that caught my attention. Okay, the main headline says Obi's case threatened as LP factions fight dirty. I've been talking about this particular party that I think it was a party the youth associated with, and now we are seeing this kind of dirty fight. That shows that they are all the same.
Yes.
And a story
with a different
mandate and a kind of brand style, and now we're seeing the true colors of these people. And then I saw a story here that says Nigeria spends $195 million in 2021 to tackle piracy in Gulf of Guinea. Now, this is coming from Buhari. That is a lot. And if you ask me, I never knew we had issues of pirates. I used to see those things like piracy. So
I think there are a lot of things people are not telling us. Honestly, just see them once and
that money is much. And then this story as well, economic cost of malaria in Nigeria may hit 2 trillion in 2030. Federal government as well. Recall that the Dr. Hope yesterday on the show. Yes.
They're just predicting though.
Dr. Hope yesterday said as well on the show yesterday, we know that he made mention that yesterday was World Malaria Day, and he made mention that in Nigeria here, like I was talking to my mom when I got home that I'm not feeling well. My mom said I should go do test. I told her I already did test, and she said, I said today is even World Malaria Day now, and I was hoping that these lab people, they will cut their cost for people to go and check, because these are some of the things they do in the civilized countries. Yes, maybe if the cost, for instance, is 1K, you're supposed to make it 500. So it will enable people to just come, because that is World Malaria Day, to come do their malaria test.
No, we didn't do it.
They did not. Yesterday, I had to go to one lab. I was angry. I gave her to another lab because the money was so much and all that. I had to go to another. I was telling my mom, and my mom was telling me that I don't think you people that are reading or saying something, I don't understand it, but I know that malaria can never be cured or typhoid, because you have malaria today, the next week you go, you are still having the malaria. The test will show the same thing. And
as you are still in this country.
And I told her that was what the doctor said yesterday, because we are prone, and Nigeria is the country that is prone to malaria. We have mosquitoes everywhere, the environment and everything.
I mean, like you said, you don't like using net. You said it yesterday. You don't like using
I don't use them, but I have a fleet at home. I close my doors and my windows. I used to feel suffocated under net, so I don't like using it.
And many people are like that.
Anyway, I hope that people will actually take malaria seriously, because the doctor made mention yesterday that this could lead to organ damage and even brain damage. So please do well and stop saying quack. Stop going to chemists. Give me, I'm feeling headache. Sometimes these symptoms are not even malaria. They are something serious. So all the time you need to see experts. We'll move on quickly now to the next newspaper we have here. And of course, that will be coming from the Nigerian pilot. These are some of the stories making wave this morning. LP crisis, they are disgruntled. Labour Party asks judiciary election tribunals to disregard any letter withdrawing its election petition case. And now the second rider says party says it suspended national officials lack the locust. Another rider here says ask police, DSS and EFCC to apprehend those agents of destruction. Now all the stories are on page 8 of the Nigerian Pilot newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here that says Benue State record over 18,000 IDPs in 1 month. That is a lot if you ask me. And that story is on page 8 of the Nigerian Pilot newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here that says diaspora Nigerians remitted $168 billion in 8 years, World Bank reports. That story is on page 8 as well of the Nigerian Pilot newspaper. We saw a story here as well. It says that refresh suit seeking to stop Tinubu's inauguration surfaces at appeal courts. That story is on page 5 of the Nigerian Pilot newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here that says why I accepted to lead Ohaneze Idingbo worldwide. Iwanyawo says on page 8 of the Nigerian Pilot newspaper. as well. We have a story here that says Sudan evacuation of stranded Nigerians set to commence today, says Abike Dabiri, and that story is on page 5 of the Nigerian Pilot newspaper. We spent $195 million in 2021 to tackle piracy in Gulf of Guinea region. This is coming from Buhari, and that story is on page 8 as well of the Nigerian Pilot newspaper. We also have a story here that says, I won't recognize anyone as president-elect, Methodist Bishop says, and that story is on page 6 of the Nigerian Pilot newspaper. We have a story here that says EFCC arraigns Ondo Speaker, 2 others over alleged fraud. That story is on page 7 of the Nigerian Pilot newspaper. Now, these are some of the stories we have this morning, and from the sports and still in Nigerian Pilot newspaper, we have Osimhen set to celebrate a Serie A title win. That story, it's on page 8 as well of the Nigerian Pilot newspaper. Now, these are all the stories we have coming from the Nigerian Pilot. Now, don't forget also, I saw this headline here. Now, coming from Abike Dabire this morning, she said, evacuation of stranded Nigerians set to commence today. So yesterday we saw the headline. They said they were commencing yesterday, and today we are still commencing.
Peace, right?
No, peace, that is an individual. Okay. It's not the government. Now we're talking about the government. And yesterday, government said they were already going to evacuate, and today we're still saying they are going. I really do hope that they go and rescue these Nigerians that are there.
It's not just to announce the going.
Like,
actually make a move.
Yes, Ella said the other day on the show, is we are tired of species going from one place to another, making statements and praying. Yes, you just go and do what you have to do. The way other countries have been able to evacuate, try the same pattern, the same way, and evacuate your citizens. And this story here is really sad. Benue State records over 18,000 IDPs in 1 month. I think we need an analyst on this.
Right now.
This is sad. This is their ancestral home, and then now they are becoming IDPs in their own state.
News coming from.
I know when you go to this IDP camp here in Abuja, just area 1 here, I used to go there and see them sometimes. Yeah. A lot of them are from Benue. Yes, just here, close by the office. A lot of them are from Benue, and they've been there for years. So sometimes you need to just go and see these people, see the condition they are living in. If you need to reach out to them as well. Okay, so we move on quickly to the next newspaper we'll have this morning.
Okay, the next newspaper coming from the Blueprint. Election Tribunal. Labour Party crisis deepens. Party alleges plot to scuttle Obi's case. Moves to save National Chair Abori's job. APC dismisses HDP Oru's suit against Tinubu's inauguration. Says it's an idle, frivolous adventure. Ohaneze welcomes Tinubu, frowns at omission on transition committee. You can find that story on page 22 of the Blueprint paper. Transcorp rakes in 134.7 billion naira in 2022 gross earnings. That story is on the page 14 of the paper. 18,000 persons displaced in 3 weeks in Benue local government, SEMA. That story is on page 8 of the Blueprint newspaper. Bandits may deny us participation in 2023 census, Taraba community. That story is still on page 8 of the Blueprint newspaper. Veteran journalist Peter Enahoro passes on at 88. That story, you can also find it on page 8 of the paper. I think that's all the story making.
Yes, I saw a story here also that caught my attention this morning. And so we have this story here that says bandits may deny us participation in 2023 census, Taraba community. Where is the lie? I think they are being truthful here. because you don't expect people a place that is not safe. You will not sit down that you're waiting for one commission to come and count you.
Protect themselves.
Yeah, so it's not at this point. Sorry, I'm going to say this, but it's not about being counted, but your safety first. You have to stay alive to be counted. So whatever you need to do to stay alive, you must stay alive. So you don't come and start having issues with bandits. So if you know the place is not safe, you move to a safer place. If they can't count you there, it's fine. But with the way the country is now, if you know the community or the place is not safe for you, all you have to do is to leave that place immediately.
Better than
yes,
heaven help those who help themselves. So
you have to. And there is another story here. Sudan crisis. Federal government publishes emergency numbers for Nigeria. I don't understand. At this point, what are they, if they call you here in Nigeria that they are close to us, will you vanish there and
but
come
this
out?
one is not necessary now.
You go there and evacuate the student. That is what every other country, even Ethiopia, as much as Ethiopia, Tanzania, Ghana, they go to evacuate. Whereas we still having issues of emergency number. Fine. It's a good move, but the right move to do right there, the best move is to go and evacuate them immediately, as many as you can evacuate. We know that the good thing is that some already paid like $100 each. They assessed Egypt. Some crossed over to Egypt, and then good news, we'll go there and they will still have to evacuate those ones. But we're saying the ones that are still trapped, stranded in Sudan should be
the time they're using to send this emergency number, they will use to make it to go bring them, because what they need right now is to rescue them and not the emergency number. Because even if anything is happening and they call the emergency number, what will they do? Will they just fly immediately?
That is the issue.
Dying already.
Anyway, we move on quickly to the next newspaper, and that would be the Guardian newspaper. Now, these are some of the stories we have making waves this morning. We saw here air fees hit new high as foreign airlines settle for 582 naira /$1. Now, that story is on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. We also have a story here that says you are replicating Buhari's the distasteful foreign medical trip. Arewa tells Tinubu, I'm going to take that again. You are replicating Buhari's distasteful foreign medical trips. Arewa tells Tinubu. And that story is on page 5 of the Guardian newspaper. We also have a story here that says interim government constitutionally forbidding fruits still tempting 30 years after. Now, that story is on page 4 of the Nigerian Guardian newspaper. We also have a story here that says prosecutioner challenge politics may set fleeing Adamawa wreck free. That story is on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. These are some of the stories we have making waves this morning. And then we saw a story here as well that says Sudan crisis, federal government to lift stranded Nigerians via safe routes warns against treacherous journeys. That story is on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. Now, this story caught my attention. Federal government to lift stranded Nigerians via safe routes warns against treacherous journeys. I've been hearing here, sitting here, taking the headlines for days, and I'm hearing to move, to evacuate, to help. So I don't know at what point we're supposed to finally evacuate the student, but like we said earlier, they should evacuate the student. And also there's a story here that says you are replicating Buhari's distasteful foreign medical trips. Arewa tells Tinubu. Now we are just getting started. I think it's too early. So let's wait.
Well, at least it is what they are saying.
Mary, probably it's obvious that the man was tired. The election was stressful. The campaigns. He needed rest. He needed a quiet environment. But Nigeria, they will not allow you to rest here.
It's too early.
It's better he do it now that he's not yet the president. Not when he's the president, he will have been jetting off and on.
I think they are trying to say what they think and what they feel. You get this Iowa.
Anyway, viewers, don't go anywhere. We'll go on a quick break. This is Wake Up Nigeria, and we're on the newspaper reviews. We'll be right back after this break, so stay with us.
Ladies, are you ready to shine? Here's a golden opportunity for you to show the world the queen in you, as the second edition of Face of SRTV Ladies Edition is about to begin. What are you waiting for? Register online with just 500 naira and stand a chance of winning a cash prize of 100,000 naira and the deal of becoming our ambassador. There will also be consolation prizes for second and third place winners. To register, kindly pay the registration fee and send your name, age, picture, and state of origin to this number 0906 895 2170. For more inquiries, please call 0907 400 7816. Powered by SRTV London, the face of SRTV, who takes the crown.
RTV London, in partnership with NTA TV Enterprise, present the maiden edition of the Nigerian Week in the capital of the world, London. A wonderful blend of entertainment, business, and networking, displaying a wide range of art, national cash crops, financial product and services, and real estate. For huge extra opportunity in diaspora, look no further. The 36 states of the Federation, the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture, Trade and Investment, the Nigerian Film Corporation, and host of others will be in attendance. Date 15 to 21st of May 2023. Venue Lighthouse, Camberwell, Southeast London. For details, log on www.superiorradiotelevision.com/Nigerian Week or call +447 549 513 619 or +234 814 358 2856. The Nigerian Week, celebrating the best of
Politicians promise anything, make you not believe in them. Politicians promise you, make you not believe in them. Politicians promise anything, make you not believe in them. Politicians promise you, make you not believe in them. Inside their mouth, truth to know day. Inside their eyes, corruption day. Inside their heart, wickedness day. Once they get into power, now when the time will gain, now in their brain, then we type one man will change. In the name of change, why? Change. They combine those with change. Politicians promise anything, make you not believe in them. Politicians promise you, make you not believe in them. If they say make you vote for them, make you look well. If they say make you vote for them, make you shine your eyes, oh. They promise us water, we don't see. Up till today, we don't see. We not they get water. Yes. They promise us light, we don't see. Up till today, we don't see. We not they see the light. They promise us road, we don't see. Up till today, we don't see. Jaga road, we don't see. Yes. So promise.
RTV London, in partnership with NTA TV Enterprise, present the maiden edition of the Nigerian Week in the capital of the world, London. A wonderful blend of entertainment, business, and networking, displaying a wide range of art, national cash crops, financial product, and
Hello viewers, welcome back from that quick break. This is Wake Up Nigeria, reaching you live from SRTV here in Abuja. We are still on the newspaper reviews, and I'm going to continue from where we stopped before that break. This is this day newspaper. Now, these are some of the headlines we have coming from this day. Adamo, APC leaders visit Tinubu, consider South for Senate presidents, Northwest for speaker. Now, that story is on page 11 of this day newspaper. We also have a story here that says other interests also pushing North Central for speakership. And that story as well is on page 11. Another opposition party asked court to stop Tinubu's swearing in 33 days to inauguration. That story is on page 11 as well of this day newspaper. We also have a story here that says U.S. grants Nigerian permission to protest against presidential poll. Now that story is on page 11 as well of this day newspaper. We also have a story here that says Buhari, Nigerians spent $195 million to fight piracy in Gulf of Guinea in 2021. Now that story is on page 5 of this day newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here that says NDDC, US firm seal $15 billion deal for construction of mega rail line connecting Niger Delta states. That story, it's on page 8 of this day newspaper. We also have a story here that says 2023 World Malaria Day, poor use of local content poses challenge in combating disease. Lawmakers lament. That story, it's on page 41 of this day newspaper. We also have a story here that says World Health Organization urges Nigerians to commit 18% health sector budget to PHC. That story is on page 11 of this day newspaper this morning. We also have a story here that says EcoBank Group rings closing going at NGX, and that story, it's on page 5 of the This Day newspaper this morning. Now, these are all the stories we have coming from This Day newspaper this morning. There's a story here that comes to my attention, Mary. Lawmakers, 2023 World Malaria Day, poor use of local content poses challenge in combating disease. Yes, like the doctor said yesterday, not virus but disease.
Yeah. So yesterday I was able to.
Even me, yes, I've been thinking it's virus. Yes, he said it's not a virus. Lawmakers lament. I really do hope that people will take this malaria thing serious. From what we saw yesterday on the shows, malaria is something that is way serious.
Like this story now that caught my attention, saying that the US grabs Nigerian permission to protest against presidential.
I was going to go to that.
I don't get it.
Yes, because people are grieved.
Okay.
People are still there. We are still at the tribunal. People are grieved. So if you feel the right to protest, that I don't want this inauguration, I don't want this person, you have the right to protest. A peaceful protest. Don't forget.
Because you know what the outcome of protest normally, most times.
That is because in Nigeria here, we don't follow the rules. If we know the rules, even the security agencies are supposed to protect the protesters. I have covered events in the past where we were protesting. There was a day Labour actually picketed EFCC headquarters. I covered that event. And you see that police were guiding us. We were so much in numbers, like thousands of people, just to storm EFCC office. It's the same thing. So every protest is supposed to be peaceful, Mary. It's just that here in the country, other elements might hijack the protest. People might want to turn it to another thing. The opposition might come and distort the protest. Now, this is a case study of HENSAS. Youth came out to protest peacefully, but at the end of the day, elements, people came, they started stealing, they started fighting, they started causing havoc here and there, and it was not tagged another thing, riot or so, but it's normally it's supposed to be a peaceful protest.
Now, that story that caught my attention. So
okay.
Another opposition party asked courts to stop Tinubu swearing.
But these are the things you see, Mary. Just after election, you continue to see these things. Even after inauguration, you still see these things. It will take time until proven otherwise by the competent courts of law.
I hope it will be peaceful because the disagreement is just too much.
It's too much, but like we always say, we leave for the tribunal to decide on some of these issues. And as well, I saw a story here also that says NDDC, US firm sealed deal of $15 billion for construction of mega rail line connecting Niger Delta states. Now, I just hope that this money is so much.
The kind of money
so much.
Like, but asking myself, so this country has this kind of money.
We have, and they borrow. How rate of that we're borrowing also.
Okay, we're borrowing.
So I just hope that the money will be channeled to the right sources, be used judiciously, and tomorrow we don't have issues of EFCC is after this one for eating this money, for cutting away with this money. We don't have issues like that. Yes, we move on quickly to the next newspaper we have this morning.
Okay, the next newspaper is taken from the Punch Sports Extra. From stars to flops, Eagle stars who fail to shine at new club. That story is on page 7 of the Punch Sports Extra. Pochettino agrees to coach Chelsea. You can find that story on page 4 of the paper. Ogbonna, Falcon star inspired by dad. That story is found on page 6 of the Punch Sports Extra. United suffer Fernandez blows ahead Spurs clash. You can find that story on page 5 of the paper. Madrid battle 5 EPL team for Chukwueze. That story is on page 6 of the paper. Olatunji, multi-talented teen in love with Arsenal. That story is on page 6 of the Punch Sports Extra. I think that is all the story making way on the Punch.
Yes, I saw a story here that says she was inspired by her dad. That is really nice one. Sometimes too, I think Ogbonna, yes, Falcon star inspired by dad.
Imagine if he was being discouraged by the dad,
I actually like the guest I had the other day, SKB, that said, while he was growing up, the things he wanted to do. But of course, our parents there will come and tell you, no, you must be a doctor, you must be a lawyer or a banker. And they feel like, I used to have a neighbor there. In fact, my godmother's husband used to feel like he tells you that the only profession he knows is when we talk about the medical, the law, judiciary, and of course the bankers. Any other, there is no other profession as far as is concerned. So I think a lot of people have that mindset, and they tend not to allow their children to follow their dreams.
And they want their children to do what they want.
Like we saw Ray yesterday. He's making so much money on the show. He told me that he's making so much money on a daily basis, and now he doesn't restrain him whether public.
Will never want to work for anybody.
That is what he said. And don't forget also that he's now an employer of labor, because he's employing more people, reducing stress on the government. Yeah. So he has over 20 workers, and then he has been able to create a niche for himself. So sometimes I think our parents should allow children to follow their dreams, what they have passion for, encourage to get to go into that, so that
give them the positive mindset towards pursuing that career.
Yes. I have a friend that told me recently that he's always hiding away from the public, and this guy is just very cute. From my church member, like, why are you always hiding? He said he left the course of his life, and he's there hiding because the world will judge him. The parents are angry with him, and I said no. Since you don't have passion, that is a very good move, because you don't go there and cause havoc. You can't say I want to be a doctor, and at the end of the day, you don't even know how to use the syringe or whatever you're using. You don't have the passion, the interest, so you shouldn't be there. So this is even this is even the best
to make it easier for you.
This is even the best move. And also this story here, I really want us to talk about this story just before we go. Now, when we talk about the evacuation of Nigerian students, we appeal to individuals as well. Like we saw Oyema of Epis doing that already. Yeah. Yes, trying to evacuate. And the federal government, I don't understand why every day we are about to plans to begin. We begin today. I just really hope that today, Tuesday, tomorrow will come and we'll see that they've been able to evacuate.
I was thinking that from today, so we start hearing positive news about them. But it's just that everything we are saying here, the federal government are planning to. It's not like
yes, like what I said on the show now for days, it has been planning to. So we hope that by tomorrow we get to see some Nigerians return home safely, well and sound. And also,
the one thing the federal government need to know is, you see those people, I think they're just putting all their hope on the government to come rescue them. So no. A lot of them also have been able to pay. The other we saw them with $100. It's not everybody that had the money handy because of the war there. Yes, so some have been able to gain access to Egypt and other neighboring countries. That's a good one. We hope the federal government will do more. And then we saw the story of the storm here. The picture is telling a lot of story. Now, when you see this picture coming from Punch,
you don't need to ask too many questions. We can tell what is actually happening. We can even see a lady trying to help them push the vehicle out of the water. Now this water,
tomorrow they will still go out, even despite this whole flop.
Yes, so the thing is that this boils down to individuals now, not just the government. As individuals, it starts from us, the grassroots. You need to keep your environment clean. You need to open the drainage way, make sure there's passage for water. Now we don't want to have issues of floods here and there in a way that will cause things will cost by ourselves. So make sure that your drainage ways are open. Make sure that water have access to flow. And of course, like if you don't have anything to do, always stay at home, especially in the night, in the evening. We saw a report also that is going to, in this coming month, is going to be lightning stroke in this month, May. So please, if you don't have anywhere you're going at night, do well to stay at home, because we know during when we're having a lot of lightning, it's not safe to stay out. Just prepare yourself towards this is rainy season. Buy as much as enough food stuff if you have the money. Don't go to office and return home. And of course, to drivers, that is why I'm going to bring in a road safety official in one of our shows to tell us what drivers are supposed to do. You're supposed to check especially your wipers. Drivers, don't come and be using your driving. Be using one hand and be bringing and using towel to clean, because you're not seeing where. Make sure your car has heater, AC or something, so that during heavy rains you're able to see properly. And as well, make sure your wipers, your tires are in good shape ahead of the rainy season. Now also, we're going to talk about, we know that we saw in our, like we said earlier, this is a journalist that a lot of people reckoned with. He has done so well. He's a renowned journalist in the country, and that is why a lot of people are paying condolence. Yes, so we do hope that the family, God will give them the gratitude, the fortitude to bear that loss. And also, we saw that a lot of people as well are trying to stop the inauguration. Now, you have your right, like the US said, you can protest peacefully. But please don't be involved in anything that will cause you danger or dangers to others in the name of trying to stop the inauguration. Whatever you would do it peacefully.
Pilot, it says EFCC, the pilot's newspaper, EFCC arraigns on the speaker to others over alleged fraud.
These are the things you see on daily basis. What are they there for? Most of these politicians already know that what they do is to come
everybody is different.
Steal.
What I'm saying right now
is to come and steal. So I feel the EFCC, kudos to them. They should be held responsible for whatever. But here is saying alleged until proven guilty. But we hope that the EFCC will get to the end of that case. And I saw a story here also that said, I won't recognize anyone as president-elect. Now, Methodist bishop. I just hope this is opinion. I don't want a bishop that will carry members along and causing confusion. So if that is personal opinion, it's fine. We understand. As a Nigerian, you have a right to your opinion, your personal opinion. But please don't carry your members along. Don't come and confuse their opinions or their mind to come and start hate speech and hatred everywhere. And we're calling on Abike Dabire also this morning to do the needful. She's in charge of that Nigerians in diaspora, so she should make sure that Nigerians get home safely no matter what it takes. And also the killings in Benue, and a lot of people have been displaced. Please, we are appealing, not just federal government but individuals. Yes, security agencies.
I don't know Benue State and Kaduna.
No, Benue, Kaduna, Nigeria, their ranking is the same. So we hope that the security agencies will do more. We're going to it's a good place to wrap up the show this morning. But just before we go, do not forget our Nigerian Week London that is fast approaching. Now, you want to get your stand and your tickets. We're just counting days to the event, and you know how it is. When Nigerians will turn up somewhere, it's going to be from the law. Also, don't forget that we have a lot of agencies, ministries, celebrities, superstars are already partnering with us. So don't be left out. Just get a stand, book your tickets for that event. We're going to have a lot of activities, a lot of fun as well, entertainment, food, film, music, and of course the business opportunity award also will be given to some people. So do well to be part of that event. And just before we go as well, don't forget to like our page, hit on the notification bell, invite people to the page, because we have a lot of interesting program here on SRO TV. And also, when you're at there, stay safe. Drivers, please drive carefully, obey the traffic laws. Now, when you're out there, stay safe, be at alert, and be on fluid as well. Do have yourself a very beautiful day. Mary, thank you so much for being part of the show. It's been fun doing this with you today. Hopefully, we'll do this again tomorrow.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here this morning. I appreciate you. I remain yours truly, Princess KESSY. See you tomorrow.
RTV London, in partnership with NTA TV Enterprise,